this is another card that I designed. So that's another one of my designs, and I love, love, love this suite. The flowers are so pretty, although in this one we're not using any of the DSP. So starting off, I have run my green layer through the Fern and Flora embossing folder, and we just want those leaves to pop a bit. So what I'm going to do is just grab a blending brush, pick up a little bit of my Peaceful Pine ink. I don't want it too dark, and I'm just gently going to run it over so that it's not getting too much in between the embossed bits, but it is catching them so that they're just getting that darker green shade. So you can go as light as or as dark as you like. I think that's looking good, so I'll call us happy with that. Now I'm going to stamp my bunch of flowers onto the corner of my insert. And I'm not doing a lot of colouring here. It's just very little colouring, but very pretty colouring. So I'm taking some of my dark Peaceful Pine and just going over the veins and the leaves with it. Just got to be careful that I only do the green ones green. I don't want to do my flower bits green. Sometimes you have to just look carefully so that you're sure you're getting the right bits. I'm going to change to the bullet point just for I flip between them. I like to use the brush end when I've got bigger bits to colour in, but then I go with the bullet point when it's the finer work. And then on my flowers, I'm just taking the dark Fresh Freesia and I'm just going to go a little bit around the center of the flowers. So really little colouring here. That's it. And what I've done is I've done another two that I stamped and die cut. And then we are ready to start assembling. So I'm going to just put the inside together first. And just because I could have stamped my flower onto the inside, but I don't like just a flat inside. And I'm not that keen on white, so I'm going to put another green matte layer down first. And then we're going to stick my insert in. Okay, and my embossed layer can go on the front. And I'm going to build my flower arrangement before I stick it onto the card. So my two die cut ones, I'm going to stick that big flower or the center flower there onto the little flower on that side. might just put a little bit of glue behind this open flower here as well, so that's going to hold that together. Now I've die cut 2 of each of the sizes of the leaves from vellum, and we're just going to stick those wherever we think they look good. So we can have one over here, just poking between the flowers. Put a little one, and I am trying to copy what I did there just because it makes it easier that I don't actually need to think about what I'm doing. But we'll put a little one over here, and obviously you don't need to position them exactly where I'm putting them. You can put them anywhere you like. And then we're going to put one between these 2 flowers. I don't think it really makes any difference whether you put your glue along the bottom of the leaves, although then you may have a little bit of glue poking out, but just dab it with your finger and get your fingers sticky, that's okay. Or you could, as long as it's going to stay there, or you could just put glue on the back of the flowers. I find it easier to put it on the back of the leaves because then I can actually see where I'm positioning them. Looks like I angled this one differently, but that's all right. Okay, and then I have stamped my happy birthday to you, and this time I'm actually using the whole stamp as one. We're not cutting the words apart, which we've been doing a lot of the time for the other cards. And I'm actually going to stick my sentiment on first, just because then I can see where to position my flowers. You could do it with your flowers first, but then you may just get it wrong that there isn't space for the sentiment. So I think it's easier to do the sentiment first. And then we're just putting dimensionals behind the cardstock bits. I don't want any dimensionals behind the vellum because that's going to show through, and I suppose it's not the worst thing, but I don't like it. And just because I don't want any floppy bits, I'm going to just put some minis behind the thin bits. I think we want just one more on the back of that bud. Okay. And of course the problem with using lots of dimensionals is that it's lots of dimensional backings that need to be peeled off. There's nothing worse than you missing a dimensional backing and then wondering why it's not sticking. Alright, so we're going to just put that, move it slightly higher over there. And then I have a little bow that I tied. And here we go. I checked that I had glue dots before I started, so they definitely needed to be here. And lastly, I'm just going to stick some of my fresh freesia flowers, and I really like the effect of this. It just pops that flower into the center of a flower. I really stuck that differently. Wow. I was going to color that one in with Golden Glow like I did on those, but seeing that I haven't, I'm not having just one with Golden Glow, so I'll stick an extra flower on. Alright, so there's our card for today. I hope that you will join me